Hola, 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 beloveds, and happy Tuesday. So I came on today because I want to share some insight and inspiration about some of the things that I am seeing and hearing coming out of the United States about the halftime show. So 3 things that I'm going to share today. I know the biggest thing is the racism, and so I'm not going to address that. But what I am going to talk about is the ageism, the policing of brown women's bodies, as well as religion. So let me break it down for you first and foremost. The ageism. I am so grateful and so honored to see these beautiful women of color who are absolutely gorgeous in over their 40s. I am personally 48 years old, and I never thought that I would be this vibrant and vivacious and happy and as glowing as I am at this age. I really didn't think that, because growing up, all I saw was displays of old, wrinkly women. Even when I was in school to be a librarian, I was the youngest, graduating at age 28. All of my classmates were much older, non-women of color. So thank you, beloved. I see you. And so the ageism, this is so crucial. Some of the most beautiful women, Halle Berry, Cicely Tyson, just turned 95, 91 something years old. Brown women, we don't crack, and that's the truth. And people just need to recognize that, you know. And it is the melanin, it's the melanin in our skin that supports this experience. You know, I'm grateful every day that I have my melanin, and I'm so grateful to be a woman of color, and that's the truth. Point 2, our brown bodies have been policed from the very beginning. I'm going to share a little bit of history for you. Did you know that the reason the head wraps became such a popular thing amongst our women of color? Back in the slave days, women's hair was considered too beautiful, with the big afros, with the braids, and so it became a law for women of color, I'm saying slaves, to cover their hair. So guess what? We got creative. We started making these beautiful hair wraps, right? We started making these amazing ways to wrap our hair and display other things. So that again pissed them off, because not only did we have our hair covered, which became a law, we started making it beautiful. Did you know that those big bouffant hairdos were a play against our hair? One of the other things, do you remember in the Victorian days, they would have the corsets that made their waist really small, and then they would have that big bump in the back to make their ass look bigger, or that backside look bigger? Where did that come from? Think about it. Think about it. So they had this tight little waist, and then they had this big bump in the back. Who has that? I do. I have a big bump in the back. I have that. I definitely do. And so policing of our bodies is one of the biggest ways that we, and even the laws that are being overturned right now in the United States around abortion and things like that, that is all about policing brown women's bodies. And although I no longer live in the United States, I absolutely recognize it, because even here, it is my, every single day I'm practicing my Spanish, and it is my gift and my right as a permanent Mexican citizen to, or permanent resident, I should say. I'm not a citizen all the way yet, but soon, to learn Spanish, because not only am I, it is to show that I am here in their country speaking their language. Yes, I practice my Spanish all day, and in the calles todo español, cada día, cada día, cada día. Es necesario. Yo vivo aquí, yo vive aquí. See, I'm practicing every day, because I want to speak to my brothers and sisters here and further south, because I know, to me, Spanish is like a secret language. And here in Puerto Vallarta, I recognize that many of the people that come here on vacation, they don't want to speak Spanish. They want Mexicans to speak English, because then they know how they can place Maria and Juan. They want to keep them in the gardens. They want to keep them as maids. But when you start showing your body, when you start showing your power, no, 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 Juan, no, 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 Maria, you cannot do that. We like seeing you as our maid. And so that's the policing of the brown woman's body. The religion. Somebody actually posted on my Facebook that it was devil worship. What? Devil worship? What? That's why this page is called Brown Girls Who Bruja, not Black Girls Who Bruja, because I wanted it to encompass all women. And the reason that it is called Bruja is because there is no white Jesus coming to save us. And for so long, it's been beaten in our head that we had to believe in the white Jesus, that we had to believe in the Christian church. And many of us are recognizing and realizing and coming back to our natural medicine, to our healing. So I pray to Tonalatzin, who is AKA Virgin Mary, Ixchel, and all of the other ancient Mexican and indigenous goddesses, as I do to my Orishas, because I want to connect to my ancestors. And there's no ancestor that I have that comes from the Christian church. Not one, not one. And so I want us to recognize that it is within our power to do and have and be and experience what we are here to do. Like, we cannot let this bring us down. We have to allow this to bring us up. We have to come into our power, because this is what is the threat. I heard this quote: strong women are seen as a threat. Why? Because nobody knows where their power comes from. We are feminine energy. And it is so apparent. None of us have to go and get Botox put in our lips or some injections in our ass. I mean, some of us, it is a choice, and I'm not trying to say that it's a bad thing, and I'm not trying to be judgmental. However, I know that there are millions of people that are not of color who come down here to get a tan. I love my melanin. And so, I didn't want to address just the overt racism that I see. I really wanted to talk about the ageism, the policing of the black or the brown woman's body, as well as the religious aspects, because this is insane conversation. And I don't want to get into the racist part, but I definitely want us to look at this with a bigger scope. So this isn't just about our Latino sisters. This is about all of us. And that's why we have Brown Girls Who Bruja, because it is time that we recognize that it's not about difference. It is about us recognizing our truth, our power, our strength. And it is different. I never knew about any of the Mexican goddesses and gods and goddesses. I never knew about the Orishas, but I had to discover that for myself, because believe me, my Miana, she went to a Catholic school, she went to a Catholic high school, she went to a Catholic university, because that's all we had. I wish there was a school for the Orishas, you know what I'm saying, or a school of the indigenous. I wish there was. The interesting thing is, it's so funny, is because some of the things that I share with my husband, with Guillermo, he's like, oh, we didn't learn that in history. They have a whole nother history down here. We got taught what they wanted us to learn. And again, this is not calling out anyone or trying to shame any non-white people or non-people of color. What I am saying is, it's time that we stop, that we wake up. This is time that we look at our sexuality, we look at our spirituality, and we look at our divine beauty and our melanin as a gift, because it is. We are meant to be embracing the sun. We are meant to have our beautiful cornrows and afros. We are meant to shine. Otherwise, they wouldn't have stolen all of our things, Do you know that some of the biggest the historic factor of Africa is in the British Museum? Shouldn't it be in Africa? And many of us go to Africa to look at the artifacts and connect to our ancestors, but there's nothing left. Same thing here in Mexico. We go to the museum in Mexico City, and what we see are replicas, because the originals are in somebody else's in Europe museum. It's time that we allow ourselves to see ourselves as empowered people. And one of the biggest reasons I can't wait to speak Spanish is because I want to support my brothers and sisters, but especially my sisters here that I can't speak to now, and just in English. But I definitely try. I definitely try to do my best speaking Spanish to my sisters here, and I will continue because I want to raise and elevate the sense of sisterhood here in Mexico and in all Latin American countries, which is why learning Spanish for me is number one. It's not about being bilingual. Oh no, it is so much more than that for me. And so I want you to just take this to heart. My brown is beautiful. My body is beautiful. My spirituality is beautiful. I am beautiful. Mi cuerpo es bonita. Mi corazón es bonita. Mi inteligencia es preciosa. Mi todo persona es cariñosa. That is the truth, my sisters. So, happy Tuesday. Take that to heart with you. Practice that self-love all day long. And until next time, peace and blessings, sisters.